Good morning, boys and girls. Well, I'm 10 minutes late. Not too bad. Not too bad, believe it or not. Good morning, everybody. We'll look at the markets once again pushing new all-time highs. Fantastic. I have taken a trade already today. During the Asian session, I took my initial take profit off at before we reached down to this point. I'll share this in the playbook for the school community members. And I had one runner on to see if I could push down to the previous day value low. And that runner got stopped out at break even. So really nice trade overall. I'll break that down for the school group members. But that's my one trade on one of my take profit traded funded accounts today. So now we'll just trade the other ones. We don't really have too much to trade up here at the moment. We are sitting way, way above the previous value levels. Overnight value levels, previous day value levels, all are just left in the dust. We took off to the upside, and same as yesterday. I mean, yesterday we had the same type of thing going on where we have the highs, new highs being put in, and all we have are volume shelves across the profile here to look at for potential areas of support. Other than that, there's not a lot to go off of in terms of trade setups. So we'll sit around and we'll watch this. If we do get a really decent pullback, I would look for a potential C-ranked scalp setup off of this lower high volume node. I'm not a fan of trading the small shelves along the way. If I'm taking purely a C-ranked scalp or trade, I want to have the deeper pullback towards the thicker nodes. So that's probably all I'll look at today in terms of trade setups for the New York afternoon. Otherwise, man, just buy and pray. It's not financial advice, but that's all it seems to be for the last yesterday and today. So, man, hope everyone's traded well today. There was some good setups earlier in the morning, and I want to get a little poll in here. Let's go. How's our poll? How are we sitting today? How are you sitting today? Green and red. Green or red. There we are. Poll in the chat. Want to see how everyone's sitting. What about gold? We could have a look at gold for sure. Whitewater Joe, good morning from Cologne. Good morning. Good morning. Again, I took a long at 9:50 in the morning. It was off PDVAH overnight HVN. That wasn't traded yet into as well. Just wondering if that was valid with a bullish bias. Joe, I don't use unless it's right off the AM, 9:50. Oh yeah, I suppose that's still valid enough. 9:50. What's that down here? Oh, yep. I don't know. I can't really see that point though. At 9:50 because previous day value area high is further up, unless you mean the overnight point of control. What would you tell me? The Cam who was in his first. Hey, Cam, what would you tell the Cam who was in his first year trading? Dan, good question. In my first year trading, what I'd go back and tell myself is to immediately learn volume and order flow off the bat. Or in fact, because I didn't even trade futures at the time, I'd say cut the Forex and CFD and jump to trading futures. Learn how to trade volume and order flow first. Would have saved myself years of confusion and pain just by going right to the source of what is actually moving the markets and how to read the data behind the transactions. If I could have done that in the first place, I would have saved myself a much longer learning curve. I think, a lot of people say psychology and all this stuff is important, which yes, it is. But I think from the first place, it's best if you're starting with some sort of edge right off the bat. And volume and order flow provided that edge for me. And before that, there was very little to no edge before that in terms of candlestick patterns and SMC and all this stuff. Yeah, it was no fear. The Substack has been closed for a little while now. We just have it all inside the school group in the course. But I am considering opening it back up just for a weekly type thing. A weekly Substack, a weekly review. Valentino, good morning, man. Morning is green already. Nice. Up 235 on an MFF eval. First day applying volume profile and finish after finishing the course. Nice. Good afternoon, Diego. Gold is reacting on VAH right now. Took NQ long on VAH. Nice. Would you say it's a lot harder at all-time highs like this for setups for NYPM for your trading strategy? Um, I'd say it's not that it's a lot harder. You just have less confluences, so you're more likely to get losing trades trying to trade at all-time highs because there's not as many confluences to trade from. From all-time highs, my strategy would have me, if I was really wanting to take a trade, would have me trading from high volume nodes. So we got this shelf here. We're kind of putting in a shelf here. Not really. It's a bit close to the rest of that distribution, but if we put in a distinctive shelf and we break away, there would be another one there. Or if I want to take one that I feel would be more favorable, then down here. So not that it's harder, it's just as lower confluence trades, so more likely to stop out because there is less reason for the market to react at these price points. But yeah, for the most part, trading at all-time highs is unless you're just going to buy and hold or trade every little pullback, it can be hard to find trade confluences in all-time highs. Thoughts on trading gold using VP? I think it's good. Gold is something I do trade every now and then. In terms of psychology, what would you say to year one Cam? Oh yeah, Dan. I think the one thing that is very important to get through a beginner's mind in terms of psychology is if you were watching yesterday, the coin flip experiment, where it shows you how even with a 50-50 edge, or a 50% edge, I should say, there is a totally random distribution of wins and losses. So if the experiment was you get a coin, a standard coin has a 50% chance of landing tails, 50% chance of landing heads. You perform the experiment where you flip the coin 20 times and you record the results. And let's say tails is a win, heads is a loss. You record the results of heads, tails, but you record, after you've recorded that 20 times, have a look at the groupings. You'll find that you'll have 3 to 4 win streaks or lose streaks in a row, even though it's a 50-50 coin flip. Notice the groupings between the heads and the tails, and that's with a 50% win rate, which is basically stock standard. If you're trading the market goes up or down. Yes, it's not exactly 50-50, but there's only 2 ways the market can go up or down. It's not going diagonal or sideways or whatever. So you put a position on, a standard 1-to-1. There are other factors at play, of course, but if you're putting a standard 1-to-1, in a perfect world, that's a 1-to-1 trade, right? It's 50-50. Same thing with when you start to build a real edge, even if you have a 60% edge, 70% edge, whatever it is, there are going to be a random bunching of wins and losses in any given strategy. So you might go on a hot streak with a 50% win rate trading strategy and think you've figured something out and you've cracked it. Yeah, I'm winning every trade. But really, you've still got a 50% edge. It's just that random distribution, a random grouping of wins and losses. Same with a 60-70% edge like mine now. If I could, even though I've got a high win rate, I could go on a streak of losing 3-4 days in a row. It doesn't mean my strategy's broken. Or it doesn't mean I've done something wrong necessarily if I've followed my processes. It's just the way statistics and probabilities work. It's random. The bunching of wins and losses is random. And the point is, with that coin flip experiment, you record the 20 flips. And yes, there could be 3 to 4 heads or tails in a row, even with a 50-50. And after you've counted the full 20, you count them all up, you'll still see it's roughly 50-50 heads and tails, regardless of those distributions of wins and losses or heads and tails. And I think that's pretty helpful because as a beginner, sometimes if you go on a losing streak as a beginner, you think your strategy is broken or you need to change strategy. Even if you've got a decent edge, you might start to doubt yourself. Or, as long as you've followed your processes, those losses, individual losses, don't really mean much. If you followed your proper process and executing your edge, following your risk management plan, then it doesn't mean much. And then same for a win streak. If you are winning and you've started to win 3-4 times in a row, you think you're getting really good, you think you've cracked it, those wins don't mean much either. It's just part of, you got to zoom out, and instead of viewing that next individual trade as important, view your next 100 trades as important, so you can see overall what was your win rate, what was your total return versus just those individual trades. So yeah, that's what I exactly would say for psychology for year one Cami, for sure. There's some good questions in here. I was looking on your website, that course you offer is pre-recorded or live. Pre-recorded, Gabby, pre-recorded course. You have the option of joining a school group, a community, at the end of the course for an additional fee, $49 a month after the course. And in there, we do more interactive stuff. But the course itself is a pre-recorded course. Nice, Diego. Yeah, there was a couple of areas there, especially in the morning, where that D-shaped profile was playing out. So I'm glad you found that helpful, man. Yes, Curtis, streakiness is much more common in random data than most realize. Yes, correct. Oh, thank you, Neo Trades. Appreciate it. I keep feeling as if ICT/SMC rules the market and I need to learn them before anything else. Is this true if I want to start learning your style of trading? I'm obviously a bit biased, right? But I will say to you that ICT/SMC is it's a theory. It's not how things actually work. So I'm not saying it's not totally helpful. I don't think it is personally, but some people seem to find it helpful, right? SMC and all that. Um, the order flow, if you learn just order flow basics, don't even learn a strategy yet, just learn about order flow and how the futures market works and moves. Uh, that is how what rules the markets is order flow, and the way orders are placed, the way orders are filled, and what causes price to move up and down. There is all order flow, right? It's not SMC. So I would say if you're wanting to learn the style of trading, Google or YouTube Jigsaw Trading Introduction to Order Flow on YouTube. It's a free video. It's one of the first ones I watched. Watch that, and that'll take you through the basics of order flow, and what it is and how to read basically what's moving the market up and down in the futures market. Watch that. That's what rules the market. From there, then decide, okay, is SMC ICT going to be complementary to this, or should I be learning something that actually incorporates order flow, such as volume profile, and then make your decision from there. But it is tough because everyone says SMC and ICT, and it's all on YouTube and TikTok and social media and Twitter. It's all there, and people are always saying, this to the tech, market makers need to fill this on this side. It's funny too, because they even have the way market makers fulfill orders totally wrong as well. Market makers are trading basically on the spread. They will fill orders on the bid and the ask at any price point, basically just capturing the spread over and over again, just providing liquidity to the market. They're not trying to go down and hunt your stops and find all the liquidity above highs and lows, because there's liquidity at every single price point in the market. And you'll find that even above highs and above lows, there's normally not more than at any other price point. It's totally arbitrary, unless you're talking about a day, high of the day or low of the day. That's a different story. Yes, Trader Dale provides good information for volume profile. He uses it a little bit differently than I do, but he provides good information. Yes, Trader Dale. Shout out to Trader Dale. What's tips about lowering fear of losing unrealized profits and exiting early, especially when you're down on the day? Um, Alex, that's something I find struggle with as well for the most part. What I do is I keep, because of that exact reason, like the trade I took earlier today in the Asian session, let me recap this. So this trade here, actually, this is not a great example because I didn't take profit as quick as I normally would. This one I took more of a positional trade. Not a great example. Let's see, where's another trade I've taken? I'm not signed into Tradeovate, so I can't even see my executions. Trying to remember a trade I took. I took one during the Asian session on Monday. Yeah, over here. Okay, here's an example. So this is a trade I took on the Sunday Open, not Monday. Sunday Open. Let me show you an example. Just a small scalp. Okay, but this is what I do to help combat that fear of unrealized P&L. I think it was there. Oh, no, it was a bit late. I got to check my playbook. Anyway, let's just use, I can't remember exactly which one of these legs I took. It was one of these legs. But for example, let's say I got my position at the value low of this profile, D-shaped profile, and just trading back to point of control. What I do is I keep my trades always at 1-to-1. I target a 1-to-1 trade almost always and keep them fairly quick and small. So I go in with larger leverage and smaller targets so that I can get in and out quickly, because I also struggle with that unrealized P&L and then trying to fight the fear of losing unrealized profits. So to combat that, I take a lot smaller positions than a lot of people would. Normally my trades are done within a few minutes. So in a trade like this, triggering at value low, targeting POC, I'll get in that trade, target 1-to-1 and no more. And as soon as that trade runs 75% of the way to my target, I'm pulling that stop into break even to protect myself from a loss. Because I know if I hit 75%, but then it comes all the way back down to stop me out, I'm probably going to have a bit of a tilt day. So to fight my own tendencies, I pull that stop to break even and I pull right into, and then I take profit at that 1-to-1. And sometimes if I want to capture more, if I think that the market's got more steam, there's more momentum, or I've got a technical idea in mind for why the market should run more, I'll take majority of my position off and leave 1-to-2 runners to capture more of the trade. I did that today, earlier over here. I took off my position, majority of my position at the, I think it was 903 is where I took it off. It'll be in the playbook today. Took it off at 903, pulled to stop to break even and left 2 contracts on because I thought, okay, we broke fair value. Maybe we can go down and chase previous day's value low and I capture a bigger move. So I left 2 contracts on, but regardless of what happened with those 2 contracts, I had already secured almost 5K from that trade. So I was not too worried about price coming back. Those 2 contracts on there that were remaining, I went in with 15 contracts short, only risking just over $1,500 with 15 contracts. And yeah, I was able to satisfy my profit, boom, and then with the unrealized P&L with the 2 runners, I wasn't too worried about. But if it hit my full take profit, I would have been very happy. Very, very happy. So yeah, you just got to learn little things that help you as a trader, what helps you feel better. That's really what it's about. What's helping you feel better, and change your trading approach to match your personality. Don't change your personality to match your trading. Other way around. TJR lost 450K this month with ICT. Yeah, I'm not one to judge other people's losses because everyone's strategy is different. But that's the thing, right? An ICT trader might not have many good setups this month. Volume profile, we got good setups almost every day. Last couple power hours haven't been great. I mean, there's no setups so far, but yeah, it's just I'd rather trade something that has more opportunities on any given day of the week. Ooh. Interested to see if this thing keeps rocketing up for the rest of the day. It's trying. It's definitely trying. Again, don't have too many confluences to play off here, but we got volume developing up here in the highs. See if it holds. How to trade New York Stock Exchange and NZ with Apex. Flower Power, good question. You just make an Apex account and you're good to go. Basically, we don't have to fill out anything extra, any documents or whatnot. For us Kiwis, just make an account and you're good to go. Basically. Lahoin, how many points should I use trading gold on AM and PM sessions? It's totally dependent on the day. Totally dependent on the day. The way I like to measure what type of stop loss or take profit I should use is just looking at the legs of price, every leg and up and down that price is making, and see what the average leg is, and then determine from there. So we can see maybe, these are about 10-point legs. Each time it makes a pullback and pushes again, 10-point legs. So I would probably want to use a 10-point stop at the very least. 10-point stop and 10-point take profit for a 1-to-1 on gold today. Just a quick way to eyeball it. I don't use any specific scientific technique for this, but just eyeballing the price legs. What's the typical type of move that gold's making today, and then go based on that. So if I'm scalping 1-to-1 trades, right now I could say, yeah, sure, I'd probably use a 10-point stop, 10-point take profit, and feel pretty comfortable with that. There's no fixed rule for stop loss and take profits. You'll see even when I trade ES here, some days I'll do 3 points, some days 5 points, some days 8 points. Or like earlier today, that was that was only 8 points as well. Felt huge at the time. It was an Asian session, but only 8 points. 8-point take profit. My stop loss is only a couple of points. Overnight rules, any restrictions? Flower Power, basically just have your position closed before 5 p.m. Eastern time. So 5 p.m. Eastern time is, what's that our time? 4 o'clock is 9, 10 a.m. Have them closed before 10 a.m. They just don't allow you to hold through that overnight close, which is only 1 hour. But once that 1 hour close is finished, you can go straight back to trading. Right on the 6 p.m. Eastern time open. So it's only 1 hour of downtime. Oh, Gabriel, yes. Gabriel, yes, please. Gabriel, can you actually email me instead? Camicapital@gmail.com. Instagram DMs are no good, man. They're just getting drowned. Please email me, Gabriel. Camicapital@gmail.com. And I'll write that down on my list right now for my to-do list. Today, I can't show you what's on my list, but it's on my to-do list. Gabriel. Thank you for reminding me, Gabriel. Sorry to keep you waiting. Bought you a course. I'm mixing it with Fabio's Orderflow bubbles, and it's magical. Why don't you look into that? It's good, man. Local capital gains. I do have Bookmap, which is the same thing, Orderflow bubbles, and it's really good. It is good. It's a good extra confluence. Not something I personally feel the need to use, but it is really good. Orderflow and volume profile together, magical pair. Magical pair. Local capital gains, the reason I have taken a stripped down approach is because for me personally, I'm very prone to analysis paralysis. So I strip down to the basics of what I need to make my trading decisions as simple as possible. And that's what works for me. However, order flow bubbles, or those bubbles you see on Bookmap, for those of you guys who are unfamiliar, are fantastic. Fantastic. That, even just the bookmap, a heat map footprint charts, all these things work so wonderful with volume profile. If you're prone to overanalyzing like me, it can be a hindrance, but they work very well. Very well. Ryan, camicapital.com. Okay, are we pushing new highs? It'll be so crazy to push new highs at both power hours, yesterday and today. Less is more, especially if you get paralyzed. Yes. Mike Onesian, you got Bookmap. I believe Motive Wave has it as well. I'm working on Motive Wave content at the moment to put tutorials out. So I'll get that all sorted. You got Motive Wave. I believe also Jigsaw has a version of it. Can we use OPOC and PDPOC as a strong support or resistance level if they're stacked together? Yes. In context, yes. What advice would you give a struggling trader being new to the futures space and going on to the fourth challenge? Grant, what's causing you to blow the challenges? Figure that out first. Is it over leverage? Are you following your strategy? If you're following your strategy perfectly and you're following your risk management plan perfectly, then try and figure out, okay, is this just like we talked about earlier, a random distribution streak of losses? Or am I actually losing week after week with my strategy? Maybe your edge might come into question. If you're not following your risk management process, proper sizing on an eval, obviously you've got quite tight rules. If you're using a 50K eval, you got 2K of drawdown. That's pretty tight. So if you're trading that like you don't want to lose it so quick, I'd split that into 10, risk 200 max per day. Same in the funded stage, same thing. And that should save you from blowing that real quick, because you'd have to lose 10 days in a row to blow that, which is pretty hard to do. So yeah, figure out what's going wrong first. Is it strategy related? Is it risk related? Are you oversizing? You going on tilt? Figure out the problem first before you can find the solution. Once you've got that, easy fix for risk management, like I said, size down, drawdown split into 10. Okay, now you'll have to lose 10 days in a row before you blow it. That's an easy fix. If it's strategy related and you're actually losing day in, day out, even after following proper processes, maybe it's time to try and determine what kind of strategy am I trading? Does it have a real edge? You need at least a 50-50 edge for trading. In my opinion, I think less than that is just not worthwhile. So yeah, figure out which one of those two is causing you to fail, first of all. Most likely, if you're a beginner, most likely it's going to be risk management. Scott, challenge accepted. Could you explain comparing NinjaTrader to other platforms like MotiveWave for the use of volume profile? Yeah, Ivysoft. They'll all be the same. NinjaTrader, all it will do differently to trading viewers, will take your volume profile from tick data, which is actually more accurate. With TradingView, you can get within a couple of ticks of being accurate, but with a platform like NinjaTrader or MotiveWave, you're getting very accurate data on the volume profile. So NinjaTrader is a great platform. I like NinjaTrader. It's exactly the same Ivysoft. Just make sure you're able to pull the same levels, previous weeks, previous days, overnight, and then a developing profile. Always added to losers and never got out of trades for me. Dummy I was. Yeah, Benelli, that adding to losers is it's gonna burn you most of the time, 100%. Sometimes it feels better, right? Because you're averaging out your position as the market goes into drawdown. As your trade goes into drawdown, you're adding into those losers and getting a better average position. So if it bounces back, you're in a better spot. But most of the time, that's just going to burn you, as you know. So yeah, that's one thing. Never add to losers unless price is in an area of interest. Like say, for example, if I'm looking at going long in this high volume node down here, I might not know, hey, is it going to just tap it once or is it going to dig in deeper? So I might add in one contract, split my position, add one here, and then if it digs down deeper, add a final one there, but nothing below that. If it digs below that, I'm probably wrong, get stopped out. It's the only time I would, in quotes, add to losers is if I'm trying to average into a area in price where I think price is going to bounce. And I've got a position size in mind. Say I want to get in 3 contracts. Worst case, I only get in with 1 because it bounces on the first tap. But best case, if it trades into that area, then I'm able to get in with all 3. But as soon as it passes that area of interest, then no more can be added because I'm most likely to stop out. What do I use? FRVP instead of Session VP? Session VP is just always throws out the wrong levels. Just use the built-in trading view things. The third-party indicators are questionable. The built-in trading view volume profile is the best. Of course, you have to draw things manually, but it's the Session VP. Anyone in the course or the school group that's used Session VP has just had trouble getting the right levels, and it's just it's wacky. So I would always suggest just drawing them out manually. It's also good for your brain. Yes, AF Stewart, draw it to 9:29 a.m. Got to draw it right to the final candle of volume of the overnight, whereas 9:30 is the first candle of the regular. So draw it through to 9:29, then you'll have bang on same levels. Same levels. By the way, guys, get the likes up to 200 likes and we'll give away another course. Another course giveaway today. That changes very, very soon. It's meant to be today, where the course changes from a one-off lifetime access fee to a monthly model. So that now's the only time to lock it in. I am moving house at the moment, so it's been a little bit hectic trying to get that all sorted, but that'll shortly be changing today/tomorrow. I said that yesterday. But yes, very shortly to be changing. So we'll give one away today, but if you're also looking to grab it, it's one of the last days to grab it at the current price, one off. They will soon be changing, rolling into the school group, and then we'll just be keeping it all under the one umbrella as a school group. Yeah, through Chaser, that's right. But there's a little, you're catching a good opportunity here. It was meant to be Sunday, but now it's maybe today, maybe tomorrow. Man, I've been laid off since May. I'm a programmer, never got out of work this long. Your trading methods have helped me bring in some extra cash. Hey, Ev, still glad to hear, man. Sorry to hear about the layoffs. That sucks. Yeah, I take it you're in the States. Yeah, shit, man. That sucks. I'm glad the videos have brought you some value and bringing in some cash. For sure. I've seen a lot of that lately, though. The layoffs, right, in tech, and even my dad's company's been laying people off. He's luckily been all right so far, but Uh, yeah, a lot of layoffs in tech. Before I quit my job, I was in tech as well and working for Shopify. And man, the way that luckily skated around two layoffs, but my team got laid off for the most part. Majority of them did. But yeah, it's crazy. It's so crazy to me the way that some tech companies do it. 'Cause I came from a sales background. I wasn't used to working in a massive tech company. And yeah, you'd literally just because it was Shopify is all remote, work from home only. Everyone around the world works from home, no office, right? So we all work online via Slack and Skype, Google Meets and whatnot. Anyway, wake up one morning, ready for work, turn on your computer. Oh shit, it's not. I can't sign into my stuff. You can sign into your email still though. So sign into your email and you see, oh no, unfortunately you've been laid off. We are laying off 10% of the workforce. You go, oh shit. So yeah, my entire team got laid off, except for three of us. And yeah, all just go to sleep one night, wake up the next morning, and bye bye job. It's crazy to me. Crazy. Tech is ruthless, man. Ruthless. Different in a smaller company, in a sales job like I used to work, where if there's layoffs, they'll let you know a couple weeks in advance. Hey, we're looking to cut some staff. We'll be sending out letters or sending out emails within the next hour to let you know if you're one of the ones that will be going, and we'll give you a couple weeks to wrap things up. Not at Shopify, not in tech, overnight. Scary stuff, man. But hey, if you're working in tech already, you got those high value skills, and yeah, hopefully lining something up again soon, real soon. But yes, I didn't get laid off. Luckily, I skated two of them and I quit not long after that. But and went full time with my other business and trading. But yeah, shocking, shocking. VP based trading seems less hectic as you don't require to follow a lot of things as you do on ICT SMC. Correct, a lot less hectic. Um, did I do drop shipping? I have done drop shipping in the past, but no, I did not. That's not my not my thing. Happened to me in the middle of the day. I was doing work and got cut out of access on my computer. Ruthless, man. Do I have a Discord? Top floor. I don't have a Discord. I have a school group, school community. I don't like Discords. Trading Discords get messy and loud and distracting. Every financial year close layoffs were massive. Yeah. YouTube pays too. YouTube pays great. Yes, it does. Since I switched to from ICT, I used to take candle confirmation on VP levels. Today I followed your method, took direct limit entry on levels, straight to TP. Yes, Amber, good one. That's the thing. That's what we say about confirmations. Confirmations are nothing more than a retail safety crutch, mental safety crutch, not something that actually has any edge, in my opinion. So, yeah, analyze the levels, find good logical levels to execute from, trade from those levels, and take that first reaction versus trying to take a second leg when maybe a lot of the time there won't be one. I'm glad to hear it's been working. Absolutely. So what we're seeing here, guys, I'll just give you a little market update, quit the yapping. So what we got along this range here, we have what's, if you guys are inside the school group, very similar to a even distribution, very similar. Of course, there's a little divot in there, but this basically just confirms with volume a range in price. So it's likely until we get that breakout, that's the range it's confirming with volume, that the volume drops off at the low here, pulls back into value, Then as we approach the upper end, unless it's going to break out, that'll probably pull back down to the lower end as well. Back, forth, back, forth. So we're just developing a pretty even distribution of value across the highs here, which means a couple of things. It's good. It means the market is finding value at higher prices. All right, it's developing pockets of value, both buyers and sellers willing to transact up here. Both saying, yes, this is a fair enough price to trade, and they're going back and forth. But we don't have one side taking control of this area yet. And we'll see when that control is taken, when that value is broken away from, then price comes back to retest value majority of the time. And then you can get a confirmation on who is in control of the market, buyers or sellers. So we're waiting for that breakout. So far, just stuck in a range. Beza just received her payout from Topstep LLC. Yes, congrats, Beza. That's awesome. First payout. Big time news. That's a decent first payout too. Congrats, big congrats. How do I know if an important level will fade or break out? I often can't decide. H says you want to use a bit of context. You can never know for sure, but basically a good indication of breakout versus a fade is seeing if volume is developing. Say if we have a level like this white line represents a value area high maybe, and that's a key level. Instead of fading this, we could see, okay, there's volume developing right here, right beneath the value area high. Right, so the market is finding value at what was considered to be a expensive price point, but the market's willing to trade across here, buyers and sellers willing to transact. So instead of fading that, I might then think, okay, because value is being found here, I'm not going to fade off the value high. I'm going to see if buyers can push this up, because we are finding pockets of value. There is fair pricing in here. So instead of fading the value high, I'll wait for the breakout and then buy the retest. And that's one of my favorite setups, is a reinforced level where a high volume node is developed across a value level, and it breaks away and you buy that retest. It's one of the best volume profile setups in my opinion. But yeah, look for that. Look to see how value is developing near a level to determine a breakout or fade. If there's no value and it's the first tap, a lot of the time you just get a reaction straight off the level, first go. You can never know for certain, but there are little things like that you can use to try and determine, should I fade? Should I wait for breakout? And of course, there's context you can use as well, like where is fair value? Where is fair value shifted from? If fair value, say overnight fair value was 6908, and then, sorry, let me rephrase that. If previous days fair value was, 6910, overnight fair value was 697, so it's shifted down, and then the developing fair value was again 6904, so the fair value is shifted down each session, then you might be looking for a break away from value lows versus fading back to the middle. If all the fair value points are roughly in the same spot, then you'd be more likely wanting to fade the value lows, fade the extremes, because fair value stayed in the middle, so you can more likely expect a pullback to value, and vice versa on the upside. And then same as if fair value is shifting up each session, then you might want to look for breakaways in the next session. We can see here it was a little bit tough today. Previous day's fair value was 909, overnight was 908, so it shifted down by 1 point. But then into the session, fair value of the developing AM session, if we pull that across first half an hour, fair value roughly in the same spot as well. So that's a bit of a tougher one to call. By the time it tested fair value, it was up higher. So it was kind of shifting up later into the session. But they're all relatively close together, to be honest. Today's not a great example of, using that would be more a good example of fading the edges. But yeah, there's all little pieces of context like this you can use to try and determine breakout versus fades. It's tough to do because we never know for sure, but you want to use these little contextual clues to help you make a decision. Do I use VWAP? Not anymore, Sharon, but it is a good tool. Machado. Yes, long way since the Micropene and Dave T Rage. Yes. Thank you, Machado. Thank you. Yeah, long time since then, eh? Good memories, though, no doubt. For the new module in the school group, can you make a video on how to determine your bias? You said something a couple streams ago, and it would be helpful if you go more into detail. Yes, Malik. What's up, Malik? Absolutely, man. That goes in the... I've got that on my list for the community questions, but I'll write it down again. Determining bias. And for the breakouts as well, Malik. I feel like that'll be a good complementary thing to add in. Oh, pushing new highs, boys and girls. Holy shit, let's go. Pushing new highs. Here we go. Oh my goodness. This is insane for power. This is just insane. Insane movement. I'm not mad at it. How high does she go? Very high. It's holding a little runner here from a much earlier trade this morning, which I'll also break down in the playbook to the upside, but not one I'm taking on stream, unfortunately. We had no trade setup since starting the stream here today. It's just been high volume node to high volume node. Man, big day on my main take profit trader funded account here. Up $7,200 on TPT today. Should I take another payout? Yes, no, maybe. Yeah, nothing. No good VP setups at the highs here, unfortunately. Just pushing new highs over and over again. 80 more likes and let's get this course giveaway going, by the way. 80 more likes. Nvidia hit 5 trillion. Shit. NQ is stronger than ES's PDVA. Overnight VA didn't overlap, showing strength. That's why I preferred NQ today. Took long from overnight value hiking. Please check NQ chart just to know your thoughts. Amber, I don't have all my levels marked out on NQ, unfortunately. Top floral, nice. Good luck. Hope you find value in it. I'm sure you will, but good luck and appreciate you. Does TPT have multiple account copy trading? Is that how you reach 7K? No, Neri, one single account. I don't do copy trading on TPT anymore, but I have a rather large account with TPT. So I trade it with decent leverage. And yeah, I'll break it down in the playbook today, but no doubt I'll make another payout video on YouTube shortly. Those seem to do pretty well. Nice, Trey. Yeah, Trey, thank you for being so patient with the email. And I hope you find it useful, my friend. Will you shrink the screen and move it? Yes, Rock and T, got you. My PD levels are completely different to yours. Can you redraw to help if it's not a lot of hassle? Yeah, Jack, why not? Why not? We're just sitting here at the moment. Previous day levels, Jack, is 930 to 359. Hold on a second. 359. Sorry. No, I had it right there. 930, sorry, 930 to 4, and then overnights are 630 through to 929. And then current ones are 930 through to current session. Current price. Would you not take this retest here if it comes back down? Yeah, it's a decent volume shelf. It is decent. Potentially. We're getting close to end of day. Very, very close. Very, very close. It is a nice little shelf across the edge there. I'd probably look at nothing more than a 3-point. It's still rather low range. I think it's because of FOMC tomorrow. It's still fairly, although we're grinding up higher, it's not making massive moves at a time. So I'd probably take a little 3-pointer if it does pull back down to that level. So let's wait and see. Half an hour to go till the end of day. Another crazy power hour just pushing new highs. I mean, yesterday and today, same shit. Same shit. Dun, 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 dun. Rick C, make sure you're drawing on the 1 minute. Sorry, Jack T, no Rick C. Make sure you're drawing on the 1 minute. See if that helps. Machado, yes, I'm live with TPT. I've been live with Top Step in the past. Take Profit Trader. I'm not live with Apex. I don't think anyone goes live with Apex. I could be wrong though. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yes, I'm currently live with Take Profit Trader and have been live with Top Step. I'm, however, currently banned for life from Top Step because of their beef with me and my beef with them. So goodbye Top Step accounts. That wasn't very cool of them, but it wasn't very cool of me either. I did talk smack about them, but it is what it is. Yes, but other than that, I don't use any other props. I'm currently using only Apex and TPT. I did try Tradeify. Tradeify is decent. I'm just not a fan of the straight to funded thing at this point. It's good for newbies, but it's too restrictive for someone who just already has their edge and is not trying to get funded. I just want money. Take Profit Trader is the best option for that. Apex, best option for scaling up. Tradeify is just if you want to make a little bit of money while you're learning and not have to go through evals, it can be decent. Tradeify, but yes, otherwise, currently live with TPT. Do you even think with Apex stuff is it still worth to use Apex to scale payouts? J Vale, I think it's worth using as long as you're purchasing them at a low price. I don't think Apex at full price is worth it. I think buying them at a nice, cheap 80 to 90% off, 80 to 90% off discount is worth the risk. You follow the rules, you'll get a payout. That's the end of the day thing with Apex. If you follow the rules, you're not taking advantage of sims, sim fills, and you're following the rules strictly, Apex still pays out the most out of all prop firms. I think the risk being, them changing the rules, or the risk being even us not following the rules and then getting denied a payout is a risk in itself as well. So I think it's worth building on the side. I don't think it's worth focusing on as the main thing. So I always load up on more accounts when it's 80 to 90% off, and I'm cracking away at trying to hit some record payouts. Um, I don't trade them too frequently is the other problem. I'm trading Take Profit Trader in my main account, my personal account, mainly because it's where I make most of my money. But I do want to run up Apex and get a nice record payout as well. I want to chase these Jade Cap and Kane guys because I think we need a volume profile Orderflow guy up nice and high on the Apex leaderboards too. 100% confident I can do it. It's just the patience to get there. I'm only going to do it with base hits, not by full porting. So it's going to take a little time. So I'm currently 14 accounts deep. I need to get another 6 and just build those up to, a few grand each and take a payout. When I say a few grand, I mean 5K each. If I can pull out 5K each times 20, well, then that's exactly what I'm trying to run at. Obviously, it's not $1 million, but it's still a nice big payout. Is there a max payout limit with TPT? No, there is not, Petro. TPT has no caps on payouts. No caps. So we're back at this edge now, this volume profile edge. I'm going to take a little scalp here. One second, one confluence. Let me get in on my DOM here. Okay, cool. Take a little C rank scalp here. Only a single confluence on this trade. 3 points. Aiming at 6940.75. And stop loss at 693450. Single confluence trade. Just looking for a quick bounce. I'm only risking $500 on this trade. Position is on the screen. Unfortunately, I don't know why, but I cannot sign into TradingView with my TradeAvate account anymore via TPT. So, yeah, I have to contact support, but I'm unable. It says TradingView not authorized, and I go into my TradeAvate dashboard. It says TradingView add-on is enabled. Still can't sign in. So, it is what it is. Deal with it for now. Do I suggest TPT or Apex more? Overall, TPT is the best option. Even though I do like Apex for the opportunity, TPT is the best opportunity, 100%, because there's no payout rule, like no cap on your payouts. You can take daily payouts. The rules are pretty easy. It's not something that's most are going to struggle with. The only thing most might run into trouble with is the intraday trailing. I've never personally had an issue with intraday trailing drawdown because I trade base hits, scalps, so I'm not running into that problem. So as long as you're a base hit trader and you're not someone who's going for big positional trades, you're probably not going to struggle with TPT. Apex is different because you've got your 30% rule, you've got your consistency rules, you have payout caps, and so on. But Take Profit Traders, honestly, I think they're underrated and currently number one in terms of prop firm options. This trade's about to stop out, by the way, guys. It's a C-rank trade. You have 0 other confluences, so it's a little fun. I may get one tick tickled, but let's see. It'll be extremely lucky if so. So yeah, I recommend TPT number one over all prop firms, TPT. Only recommending Apex if you are a confident trader, you've taken some payouts, you've proven to yourself you are profitable, and then you want to scale up because Apex's scale opportunity is insane. No other firm can offer that. But for the average person, yeah, TPT is number one. Top Step's fallen off a lot since the heyday. Top Step's a good stepping stone for newbie traders, 100%. Stop field on that. By the way, guys, on that C trade, that's just, it went straight through. There's no other confluence on that trade. It's to be expected. Top Step's a good stepping stone. It's not something that I would make a career out of or look to get rich or look to make myself financially free with. I'd rather be with a TPT or just a personal account. But they're a good beginner-friendly firm for sure. Does TPT let you reset funded? Yes, you can reset your funded accounts with Take Profit Trader, but it costs like $1,500 to reset a 150K funded account. So I don't know if that's worth it, to be honest. Da, da, da. Fell off on what they seem to have the best risk parameters. Well, first of all, Dan, they have started to cap your payouts. That was the first red flag for me when they're capping payouts at 5K per XFA. That's really whack. Second of all is when this thing's running a big pullback right here. Big pullback. Second of all, the $200 days for 5 days before getting a payout is just like having a step 2 for getting your payout. Third of all, they've restricted you to only using TopStep X, which is not a good platform. Okay, and look who they're partnered with for that is Plus 500, a CFD firm. They'll talk shit about CFD firms and Forex trading all day long, but then they've partnered with a CFD data provider to give the fills and whatnot for TopStep X. So that's really whack. They fell off in terms of me and others might not be working with TopStep anymore affiliate-wise, partnership-wise, but regardless, they'll still ban people out of the blue for maybe doing something that doesn't agree with their brand, which is really whack when you're talking, I'm just trying to trade with these guys. And people like myself, Patrick, Isaac, who's the other guy got banned, is just random bans, right? And this applies more to influencers than regular traders. But compared to their heyday where their payouts, there was no limits on payouts, you could use any trading platform, the pricing was good, they've fallen off. They've fallen way off. Now their pricing is high, you can only use Project X. You're capped at 5K per XFA. Their live account doesn't offer any significant benefits. It's just, it's not the greatest option. How big of an account do you think someone needs to average 1,000 a week on trading? Neri, honestly, you could do that with a 50K funded account. 100%. Check my video out on making a full-time income with a 50K funded account. I think I made 6 or 7 grand in the month with that, and that wasn't me pushing too hard. So a single 50K account you can do that. All right, the next kind of level where a potential bounce may be is down here at the lower volume shelf. These are just C-rank trades, guys. These are not high probability trades. As you can see, the price has only one reason to stop and bounce at these things. You want to, for the best quality trades, you want to find trades where they have multiple confluences. If you take a trade at a volume shelf like the one earlier here, if there's momentum behind a move, it's just going to chop straight through. There's not much reason to stop there. So that's why I keep risk nice and low when trading C-rank trades, which is a single confluence, and then increase the risk when you have multiple overlapping confluences. Very hard at all-time highs. There's only C-rank trades to be taken here for volume profile. Only C-rank trades. Surrender Sharma, I'm currently sitting just over 70%. Yes, Grant, a single 50K. Yep. Single 50K can do it. TopStep told me I can only trade Project X, so I closed my account and went to Apex. Honestly, not a bad choice. Not a bad choice. Yeah, limiting your platforms to only a platform that's controlled by the company you're funded with is whack. I would not. That's a terrible idea. Terrible idea. Yeah, whatever they're smoking over there, I'm not a fan of. I was $80 away from passing, which discouraged me from the most with the 50K. Should I go ahead and go for the 4th time or tomorrow? Hey, Grant, ultimately, you got to make that decision, man. The fact you were $80 away from passing is a good thing. It means you had something that was working. But how did you get there? Did you get there by full porting, or did you trade by trade and take it well, following your process? If yes, then you've got something and you should absolutely try again. If no, and you think maybe you've been tilting, maybe you full ported to get to that $80 from passing, then maybe take a break and reevaluate, figure out a nice risk management plan before going in for the next one. Yeah, try not to burn too much money on combines and evals. Try and get a nice plan of action first before you take an eval. If you have a nice plan of action and you're only 80 away from passing, and something emotional made you fail that so close to the end, I would evaluate what that is and then try again, because you do have something there. Ronnie, that's one thing, man. You got to come away from the idea of what percentage are you making monthly, because think about it this way. To pass a single funded account, you're doing over 100% to pass an eval in the first place, you know? And then to take a payout, you're doing it well over 100% again of your drawdown. So it is realistic. A lot of retail traders think of things in terms of percentage and say, that's not realistic, man. The top hedge funds only make 20% a year. And that's because they're hedge funds trading with large amounts of money. Totally different game to us as small retail fish. We can make 100+% a month, no problem. It's not unrealistic. We're only trading small accounts. Every time you pass an eval, you're doing 150% return bare minimum. And to get a payout, you're doing the same again, another 150%. So you're having to make 300% returns to get one payout as a retail trader trading with prop evals. So it is realistic. Us retail traders play a totally different game, and our percentage return is not what we're looking at when it comes to what's realistic and what's not. We're just taking the opportunities we see every day and taking money from the market as frequently as possible. We're not trying to aim for portfolio returns of a certain percent. We're able to go in with different risk parameters, take different kinds of risks because we have a lot less on the line and we don't have any investors in our ear or anyone else's money to worry about. We can take bigger risks, we can take more frequent risks, and therefore we can go for bigger returns because we're small. The reason those big hedge funds and pro traders only go for such small returns is because they're only able to take very small risks. They're not able to trade the way we trade. They trade a totally different way. And there's just a lot more money on the line, which has issues with fill and moving the market. They're not allowed to spook the market in any way. So, yeah, it's a totally different ball game. Totally different ball game. I know, but it's too much. I have 30 plus accounts and I make 10 to 30K a month without blowing accounts. That's different for different people, Ronnie. I mean, I only have 3 TPT accounts, and just today I did 7K on one account. So I'm pulling similar numbers from only a few accounts. So it totally depends on your own risk parameters and your own trading opportunity and what you're comfortable with dialing in on. So yeah, come away from the idea of, oh, that's making 700% plus, and more so think of, okay, how am I maximizing the prop firm opportunity where what's at risk is technically only what I've spent on the eval. You know, maybe I spent $150 on an eval, so that's what's at risk. But I can make an outsized return on that by using larger leverage on, 4K drawdown, but I've only spent a couple $100 for that drawdown. So what I've got at risk is a couple $100, but I can risk, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 and take out 5-figure payouts from a small amount of risk. So I'm making huge returns percentage-wise with small amounts of accounts. You know what I'm saying? Exactly, Ron. And when you have a high win rate, you can do that over and over again. Maybe you blow some, but a lot of the times, as I've shown in videos in the past before as well, you also have a great chance of smashing it out the park as well. So yeah, it's totally individual. There's no blanket rule for any of this. Totally cut through this high vol. This thing is melting right down, guys. I did not take the second trade, by the way. After that first one cut through, totally melting through back to value area. Thrill chaser, when you have a current session value high and a current session HVN, it still only counts as one confluence. We're only using previous session value highs and lows as extra confluence with the high volume nodes. When it comes to using a high volume node developing plus developing value high, the developing value high doesn't mean too much unless paired with a previous value level. So still a C. Yeah, true, Ronnie. That's a good point. For experienced traders, yes. For newbies, not going to end well. Newbies should absolutely have smaller targets and smaller goals to begin with. You're 100% right on that, Ronnie. 100%. Experienced traders, yes. There's a very high ceiling for what an experienced trader can do with prop accounts. For newbies, take it slow, focus on one account and just focus on making bare minimum payouts, proving to yourself you can make this work before scaling up. I agree with that. US could fall behind AI compared to China, even though they're ahead now. Gotcha. Okay. Anyways, guys, we're 9 minutes away from 4. There's nothing really here today, guys. All-time highs. I mean, maybe down here we get a bounce in this node. It's a large node though, so is what it is. We'll call it there for today. No real trades today. One C rank scalp off this node here, and no bueno. I'm 7K up on my TPT account today. I'll break down the trades for that in the playbook in school for people who are part of the school group. It's a really nice A rank volume profile trade from earlier. Of course, I'll be putting the executions from Tradeovate on there as well, so it's not just some smack talk saying I made 7K today. It's for real. Just I can't sign into my Tradeovate on TradingView at the moment. So I'll break that down inside of school. Really good trade today. And other than that, I will catch you guys again same time tomorrow. We're going to start these streams a little bit earlier from next week, by the way, guys, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern time. I feel like 1 p.m. I can catch some really good moves. It feels like power hour. You're sitting through consolidation until the very end. It's just not great action. So we'll start them a bit earlier, 1 p.m. That should be good for viewership and for also actually getting some good trades. Today's probably the last day to lock in the course at the current price. So camicapital.com is where you can grab that. That will be changing either tomorrow or today to the new price and wrapping into the school group. So last chance to grab that. If you want to get funded with Take Profit Trader, code CAMCAP will get you 40% off. 40% off any eval, and also will waive your lifetime activation fee. So the link is pinned in the chat for that, and use code CAMCAP at the checkout to apply that to your account. Same thing applies for Apex. Apex is currently 80% off, like we talked about earlier. If you are going to get Apex, only pick them up on sale. They're currently 80% off. So code CAMCAP, CAMCAP, will give you 80% off any size Apex eval. Other than that, guys, I'll catch you again same time tomorrow, and